Hey, great Tuesday evening. It is a crazy, crazy evening in the city of Brownsville. And I say it's a crazy evening because a little bit of everything is going on tonight. The board meeting is still going on. And It's just very, very interesting. Uh, Joe, were you watching the board meeting? I can't hear you. Were you on mute?
I don't know. I just took off the mute. No, I got home maybe about 15, 20 minutes ago. I had a follow-up procedure with a couple of my doctors. So I literally got home 15 minutes ago. I haven't heard anything.
Well, nothing there. Nothing there, nobody home. One of the things that we did learn was that one of the uh, parents came on and basically shared the frustration. And the truth is, I'm very, very proud that a parent actually is wanting to speak up and share, a lot of the frustrations that are being felt by the parents. And one of the things that she was making mention of was how it was such a cluster, how it was such a mess in regards to having all these individuals go back to uh, meet and greets, meeting the teachers, and how it was virtually, I'll use the word virtually impossible to have, a meet and greet if you have several individuals, several students in a classroom. How did your meet and greets go? Or have you had them already?
When we first got back into school, we had a very small one for career and technology at Porter High School. And I have our parent open house meeting or virtual open house scheduled for tomorrow. So we're going to find out tomorrow.
Well, the parent that mentioned it is a parent from Stillman, and did make mention that they were having a lot of issues in regards to distance learning. So, uh, not surprising in any way, shape, or form. One of the other things that we did see is how they Philip Cowan tried to get a little bit of clarification in regards to something that he made mention that was going to happen that we found out later that was not going to happen, and that clarification was that uh, students were not going to come back on campus for the rest of the semester. Did you read that post by any chance, Joe?
I believe so. Yes. The one from the Philip Cowan. Yes, I did.
Basically, what it says is that they have received the green light. Uh, they have received the green light in regards to spending the rest of the semester working from uh, from uh, from home with distance learning, and we found out that that wasn't true. There has been no green light from TEA for our staff to work from home. It's just not there, and it's very unfortunate because a lot of the times, a lot of the things that the board members are saying are with the hope that individuals are going to want to consider them to to garner their vote for reelection. And unfortunately, it's just part of the continued misinformation that is spewed out by a lot of these board members, and especially by a lot of these board members that are seeking reelection, or like in the case of Little Eddie, who are wanting to get elected for the first time back on the board after having uh, been a disservice to the community out there. What's your take in regards to the upcoming elections, Joe?
Um, well, I think from every platform, including the national one, I think that this is an important election, and I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I can't wait. November 3rd can't get here soon enough.
There are only 544 that are doing on-campus learning out of 40,000 BISD students. See, that's the number that was given. I don't see how that number is realistic. Do you have an idea as to how many kids are going onto campus at your campus, Joe?
Um, I really don't. I think that we were under 100, if I'm not mistaken.
So that's just one school let's say 100. Do you think 544 throughout the district is a realistic number?
I really wouldn't know what to guess at that, only because I would like to think that the elementary, the younger kids, as a parent, I would not send my younger kids to school. So I would like to think that most parents would think the same way, and that is that the younger kids, it's probably not a good idea to be sending them to school. So maybe, if I think we had under 100 students at Porter, and if all the high schools are the same, then that might be pretty. I don't know. That might be accurate. It's kind of hard to tell.
Well, again, I guess we're not going to have clearer numbers until after this first 6 weeks, until we get a little bit more information in regards to the grades and in regards to the actual attendance for individuals coming onto campus. How is attendance taking coming along?
For me, great. I started reaching out to my students and my parents before school started, so I made it a point to make contact and get my students lined up, make sure that they were already aware of my class codes. So I have a pretty good attendance every day. I think with the exception of maybe one, at the most two students that probably have not participated. I think me personally, and I can only speak for myself, I have a really good attendance record.
Like taking attendance, or good attendance record in regards to kids coming out of class?
No, I have the majority of my kids. I have 99% of my students that show up to class on time. Mine. I don't know how it works. I don't know anybody else, but for me, they are. Even the morning ones, I'm pleasantly surprised that first thing in the morning in my first period class, they show up on time. So
do you think, since it's going so good for you, do you think that distance learning is doable for everyone at the district out there?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm counting on it. I'm crossing my fingers that it continues to be good for everyone. But again, I can only speak from my personal experience. I don't teach math, so my classes, the kids look forward to coming to the class.
I know. I try to avoid it, guys, and it does look like a man bun on top of Joe's head.
A what? Oh, the eyeball?
Yes.
Here, let me.
The eye of the eagle looks like a cebollita.
Okay, I better get away because I'm always giving Jonah crap about his man bun. So yeah, it's the eyeball.
Good. And again, guys, our hope is that more individuals is to have a lot of extra success in regards to distance learning out there. As of, I haven't heard a lot of complaints from a lot of individuals. I think a lot of individuals are realizing, that there's going to have to be a little bit of leeway and a little bit of sacrifice from both parts out there. I still don't see a lot of individuals that are wanting to go back onto campus. For some reason, the superintendent and this corrupt board majority constantly keeps on saying that they want more people back on campus, or more people want to come back on campus. I just don't see that happening. What is your take in regards to, have you communicated with parents at all? What is your take in regards to the sentiment of people out there?
Yes, when prior to school starting, as I was getting my classes and making contact with parents and students, one of the things that we parents were asking about is, was it going to be mandatory for their kids to come back to campus? And at the time, I could only answer them what I knew. So it's, we have to wait and see what it is that we are going to be told. And as we move forward, only because I have to make a decision based on myself because of my medical complications, I have to decide what I'm going to do moving forward if we are required to come back to campus. So because of that, I've polled my students as we move along, just like, hey, how many of you guys are going to be coming back on a voluntary basis? And I had 100% across the board, no. Like they said, I had a few students that said, I want to go back, but my parents said absolutely not. So I had pretty much 100% of my students say that they were not going to go back to school.
Breeden has not even mentioned to their staff that there is a COVID-19 case pending result. If that person comes out positive, then all the people that have been working and came into contact with this person are at risk, but it will be too late. Work with the teacher. This is very, very true. And it's very, very unfortunate. I do know that they did affect one of those 15-minute little quick tests, and the quick test uh, came out negative. But they still had to go and do a PCR. Is that a PCR or PRC? A PCR test. They had to go do a PCR test, and that one is going to take 3 to 4 days to get the results. So we're not going to know till probably Wednesday or Thursday if actually the individual that was being tested positive. With that said, the individuals that come into close contact with the individual were not asked to quarantine, were not asked to go, and make sure that they were going to be okay. And it's at that point now, guys, that it's unavoidable for individuals going onto campus. I don't think that anyone that is going onto campus at this point in time is safe at all in any way, shape, or form. But what can we do? The superintendent and his Edinburgh buddies and the corrupt board majority are adamant that they want people on campuses. I mean, what do we do? What's the solution, Joe?
Well, I at the moment I don't know what the solution would be with that, but I would like to say something on a disturbing phone call that I had today because it made me sick to my stomach. And I don't know if you're going to be talking about numbers later in the show if you want me to wait, or can I bring it up now?
Go.
Okay, so today, Erasmo, I get a disturbing phone call from the health department, from the state health department. And, they wanted to talk to me about a recent test result where I tested positive for COVID. Mind you, that they're getting this information from Cameron County. So I'm very apprehensive about the information that I put out. So I had them give me my information before I said anything, and they told me, you were hospitalized at this time, you tested positive on this date, you were released from the hospital, blah 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 blah. So they gave me the whole spill. And they tell me when I question them that why are they calling me October 6th about COVID positive test in July 10th, and they tell me that they just got this information from the county and they're following up on the paperwork. So I, of course, proceeded to question them and ask them what's the purpose of their phone call, and they're following it up to trace it and follow up on the symptoms and collect evidence. So I asked them, is it normal that 3 months later you're getting information? They said that they have been struggling with several counties, Cameron being one of them, to get information. Erasmo, this is 3 months after I tested positive. They are compiling information. Now, mind you, it's not like a follow-up. This is the first time that they got my information 3 months later from Cameron County. So if we have ever had a question about whether or not we are caught up on the numbers, absolutely not. Absolutely not. This, for me, confirmed that we are absolutely running way behind. And if you want an exact number, we are 4 days from being exactly 3 months from when that information should have come out. And it took Cameron County 3 months to get it to the state so that they can compile their information and do the follow-up for tracing purposes. So can you imagine if we're running 3 months behind on those numbers? Are you kidding me?
Well, Joe, so what you're really, really trying to say is that Erasmo Castro was right.
In what regards? Because you say a lot of things.
Well, in regards to that our numbers are flawed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're absolutely correct.
Yes, guys. I see. This is my biggest concern, folks. When all those big numbers started to hit and started to come out, that was my number one concern, that the numbers were completely false. They were faulty. They were fake. They were made up numbers. There is no way possible for the county to be reporting 3 deaths when Erasmo Castro is seeing 75 deaths in a weekend. Impossible. And what happens, Joe, is that, look, I'm glad that you're doing okay, man. And I'm glad that you're healthy and everything's going good. But what if you would have died? What if you would have died? So if you would have died, they would have found out today what happened 2 months ago, let's say.
Correct. And
And
that was
and now and today would be reporting, oh, we had a death. Although it happened back a couple of months behind.
correct. That is correct. What? You sound muffled.
So I'm right.
You are absolutely correct, man. And if anyone should be, if people were questioning whether they should be concerned, I mean, this is absolutely beyond a shadow of a doubt proof that what you were warning the community about is absolutely correct. Now, I felt it because when I was in the hospital, I was listening to the numbers, and based on what I was seeing firsthand, they just didn't quite make sense. But now that conversation, because I had about an hour-long conversation with a health department, and they confirmed every doubt and every fear that I've had, and that is that our county is way behind on reporting those numbers to the state and to us as a community, and that's wrong, because that's wrong. They are committing a very big miss. We are making decisions based on their faulty information, and that is wrong.
And Adrian, just to clarify, Adrian lives in Northeast Texas, and in Northeast Texas they were taking like a month later, so that's still better time than 3 months later.
Yeah,
and that's concerning, Joe, because unlike Longview, Northeast Texas, we here in Brownsville, Texas, are in a danger zone according to the governor of the state of Texas. And if we're in a danger zone, folks, then for our district, our administration, and our city commission to be out there making decisions based solely on the numbers that are being produced by this Cameron County Commissioner's Court is a disservice to our people. Is a disservice to our people. And unlike Northeast Texas, we live on the border. And today, the mayor of the city of Brownsville, posted that he was having a meeting with the mayor of the city of Matamoros. And they were discussing, how they were going about in order to ease restrictions in regards to people coming back and forth on the bridge. Well, let me tell you, the only restrictions for people that were wanting to cross were for us wanting to cross over into the Mexican side. Because every single time you crossed over, they were asking you, what were you going over there for? And sometimes they would turn you back. They would send you back across the river. But guess what? The bridges have been fully maxed to the capacity. Lines upon lines of individuals wanting to cross over from Matamoros into Brownsville without any means, without any check to see if the individuals who were coming over were actually coming over for something essential or something beneficial to the people here. So our circumstances are a lot different from individuals in Northeast Texas because we're in a danger zone. Danger zone. And the district is making decisions for our children, our parents, our staff, based on numbers that came out 3 months ago. Thank you.
Good evening, Joe. Good evening, Erasmo. Hello, world. Sorry for my tardiness. Great to be here. Happy Tuesday. Regarding the numbers, Cameron County did report 5 deaths. Hidalgo County reported 18. We are not out of the woodworks yet. I did check the state health services for the month of September, mid-September, and I do not see an increase in cases from September the 14th through the 20th. Now, again, are we late on reporting? More than likely. What I've been hearing, guys, is individuals at BISD are hesitant to even report any positive cases. Leadership, administration is looking down upon these types of situations. I have heard from many people stating that people with symptoms, whether employees, custodians, FNS workers handling the food to children who have headaches, who have other symptoms of COVID-related symptoms, they're hesitant to be reporting these. Now, again, we go into a grave danger of not doing so. We have seen how administration has been so hesitant on going back into the classrooms, the grading and the teachers and placing blame on them. But we are not out of the woodworks, in my opinion. Again, we've talked time and time again how we might have a resurgence. We have across the world in Europe, Spain, seen a resurgence. New York decided to close nine districts, 9 school districts because of the COVID cases. I hope we don't encounter something like this, guys. Only time will tell, unfortunately. But as of right now, we do have not as much reporting as we should. I hope that we have gotten a grip on this, but I'm still not certain. Again, only time will tell. Flu season's right around the corner. So we'll see how this seems to be like a day-to-day approach. We do not really have a plan, so to speak. And that is very scary for BISD and for the city of Brownsville.
There is no plan. Maybe they count the deaths from the death certificates listing COVID. Honestly, I just don't know what to believe from the county because, again, their numbers have been so faulty, so off base. And again, and look, people might say, oh, well, it sounds like a broken record. Guys, we're living this day by day by day. It's continuously coming up over and over and over again. And you'd think that by now they get a little bit better at producing numbers, had a better system in place. But the reason that they don't is because they continue to hire individuals into positions that should be filled by the most qualified individuals out there. And we don't have the most qualified individuals out there. Today I had and Joe asked me if we were starting the show early today, because at 7 p.m. I did have an interview with a UT student who, a resident of Brownsville, actually one of our St. Joe students, and he sent me some questions. Mr. Garcia had sent me a message via Instagram and asked if I would answer some questions on a live, and I said, sure. We'll always answer questions, and very, very proud that students at the college level, the university level, are interested, in local politics and in civics. So, very respectful young man, and asked some very important, very amazing questions. And I think that's one of the things that we're starting to see more. I don't know if you're seeing it more, Joe, but a lot of our students out there are becoming a little bit more civic orientated. Do you see any of that? And if so, why?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry. Erasmo, you were kind of breaking in and out. I'm having a little bit trouble hearing, but are you asking me if students are becoming a little more interested in giving back to the community? Is that what you're asking?
More in regards to politics, wanting to know more a little bit about their civic responsibility, more about the happenings and what's going on.
Yeah, I actually have noticed that. I mean, one of the things that teaching seniors, I do happen to see a lot of them these last few years. There's a lot more seniors that are starting to get more interested earlier in voting, and they start asking a lot more questions than they did before. And to be quite honest with you, I got to tell you that I started seeing that trend happening back when Beto started running, and that became where the younger generation just started getting a little bit more interested. I don't know if it was the fad at the time or just this generation just getting a lot more interested, a lot younger. But it's good. It's good to see Erasmo, because if I'm not mistaken, that particular year we saw a big increase in the county on the amount of voters that we had come out. Granted, it was a presidential election, but maybe it's a good thing, man. I mean, the younger these kids start getting interested in voting, the better it is. I think everyone needs to start getting involved in our community and voting in our community.
I just finished watching the board meeting, and it's unsettling how they mentioned yet again that only students who don't have technology or no internet will be allowed on campus. There are several campuses who have opened up the doors to anyone that wanted to return back to school. This 4 weeks extension is useless here. And Sunshine is correct. And again, there's no uniformity across the board. There's no everyone is doing the same thing. Individuals are doing as they well please. And this is part of the problem. And look, guys, I'm going to say this like I've said before. Everyone wants to go back on campus. Everyone wants to go back on campus. I want everyone to be back on campus. Is it the most safe thing for them to do? Is it safe for them in regards to as a community to be back on campus? The answer is no. It is not safe. They should not be on campus. They should not be on campus. A couple of things, Joe, that we mentioned is that in the meeting, we were Frankie, you weren't here. Was how Philip Cowan had made mention that he had guaranteed the green light. TEA had given the green light for them to do distance learning the rest of the semester. And a lot of teachers out there were kind of concerned. They said, well, not concerned. They were happy. They said, well, it's a done deal. Mr. Cowan has stated that we don't have to. Joe, you were one of them?
Absolutely. But you got to understand that I was looking at it with a hopeful heart, because it's in my best interest that we don't go back this semester. So when that came out, I grabbed onto that hope, and I was hoping that it was real.
The stores are all full, the restaurants are all full, mall is full, and people in Brownsville outlets are full every weekend. You go out and it's like nothing is going on, and numbers are going down. No, our reporting is going down. Our testing is going down. I would dare say, and that's one of the things that I had even back then. I wanted to get a percentage of numbers of individuals that were actually being tested, and how many of those were coming out positive. I think that would have been a better number for us. Same thing today. Look, I posted how many positive cases Brownsville had turned out today, and that was actually a total of 35 cases, 35 positives for today. But my question is not so much that 35 tested positive, because it could have been 350. And my question would have been the same. How many people were actually tested on this day? Because if you had 350 individuals test positive on 3,500 people were tested, then you got 10% of the people are testing positive. So let's say 35 are testing positive today. I mean, what? We tested 350. So we're the same as we were a couple of months ago. It's the same. It's all based on percentages, and I can't even believe that I got that right. That's a horrible math.
It's a great thing for the district that we will be having distant learning. Again, this is something that we've been advocating and being very vocal about for quite some time. We have heard from employees from the district who have stated that they do not feel safe back into the classroom. So that's very important. We are on the right track. And regarding testing, Erasmo, you have said it best. I think people kind of got tired of this whole COVID. I'm not sure if they've already had it up to here, but we're obviously not having mass testing as we once did. So I'm hopeful. Let's see where this goes. Now we got what we wanted, more time distant learning. Now, Joe, the question is, when is the district going to bring the experts? I think that's very important for us to be working on in the very near future, because you and I, us three, we can hypothetically talk about what's the best plan, the best route to take moving forward. But we must get advice, suggestions, recommendations from those that are actually living this, those that are actually dealing with this virus. So we got many competent medical officials in our area. We had pediatrician, neurologists that can help us make a better assessment of what we're dealing with. So I think that's the next route that we should go to, guys. I think we jumped one hurdle, which was good, of making sure that we have the option of doing distant learning for our employees, for our staff, for our students. But now is a bigger challenge of moving forward. Now let's bring in those that can tell us what is the best route for BISD for this 2020-2021 school year.
Guys, I'm still eating cookies. During the meeting, they mentioned that roughly a little over 500 students have returned back to face-to-face. It's a lie. Can't be true. I know this is a lie because one elementary campus alone has 104 students, and another has a little over 90. That's 100 plus Joe's 100. Guys, that's already 300. That's among 3 schools. It can't be right, man. And I'm getting very, very frustrated with all the lies. It's every single time these people move their lips, they're lying. I want to thank my friends who made me more cookies.
Are those different?
Yes. These are delicious cookies, and they've got no more crumbs, and it's got Erasmo Castro on them.
Man, you're the cookie king.
I'm the cookie king. I'm the cookie leader. And I got a whole box of them. Guys, if you would want to come and pick up cookies, I'm still selling cookies.
I'm trying to get one through the screen.
Yeah, this way.
I want to I can't see it. I want to thank Girl Scouts of America for making me an honorary cookie leader. Hey,
I'm sure they're jealous of your cookie selling skills, man.
You see this? You see this Erasmo here, right here? Because of this Erasmo, you get to see that Erasmo over there by Sunrise Mall. Cookies!
Hey, Erasmo, I'd like to elaborate a little bit on something that Frankie was saying, and then I'd like to clarify one of the comments that I saw pass by. So first of all, I think Frankie's absolutely right with the fact that the amount of testing that is being done it's completely upside down from what we did before. And I can tell you this because not only did I go get tested and had to jump through hoops and everything just to get, and wait a long time, but I also had to take my daughter to get tested and went through the whole thing. In the progression, as I do my follow-ups, I have to, do a follow-up test. And right now, you don't need appointments. I drove up. I got seen immediately, like instantly, and I had my results 15 minutes later. Like there was no waiting time, no appointment, nobody else in the parking lot. So it is absolutely correct that the amount of testing that we're doing currently is nowhere near the amount of testing that we were doing back some time ago. Now, whatever the reason is. And then secondly, I would like to comment on the comment that was there. I don't remember her name, but she's absolutely correct. And I should have prefaced it first by saying that I teach education and training, and my students, it's a career pathway that they choose. So for all intended purposes, that is an elective. And students tend to gravitate to the electives and the UIO classes a lot more than they do their math and their sciences. So she's absolutely correct. It is a lot easier for me to draw my students' attentions and bring them and have them in class. So I can only imagine what our math teachers, our science teachers, middle school, I believe she said she was in middle school, or our elementary. So in no way am I implying that distance learning is easy for everyone. That's why I always say that from my personal experience, and I can only speak for myself, only because I know and I understand that, I teach high school students, and teaching elementary students is way different. So I can see that. So don't misunderstand it. I don't. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that for me, I'm able to gravitate my students to come in, but I know it's probably a nightmare for some of the other teachers. And I want to get back to the campus. I don't want to do it the semester. But I certainly would like for us to go back to a normal way of life, but in a safe manner.
100%. Fajita Scandal, call me at 956. Send me a text, 956-572-1899, and I will share with you my Cash App or my Zeal, 956-572-1899. Let me say that again. 956 572 1899. That's why. That's why. That's why the cookie leader.
Maybe he wants to donate fajitas for your next.
Hey, Texas #2 in deaths and #2 in positive cases in the nation. We have surpassed New York in positive cases and New York and New Jersey in deaths, the two original puntos calientes of the nation. It's scary. Frankie made some good points about how we should be expecting the second wave. What happened to the additional 4 weeks that the district was requesting for virtual learning? I will give it a shot. And let's try and clarify this, guys, because there's been a lot of confusion in regards to the second 4 weeks, the third 4 weeks. Very clear. Everyone was given 4 weeks, and we started school August 25th. So our first 4 weeks was going to end September 28th. And correct me if I'm wrong, Joe. That was the one that was given to us. The first request for 4 weeks was actually the second 4 weeks. But that was the first waiver for 4 weeks. The second 4 weeks. Those were from September 28th till October 25th. Round about there. That we had to ask for. Those we had questions if it had been asked for or it had not been asked for. The second waiver was for the third 4 weeks. The second waiver was for the third 4 weeks that was voted on today. And that was going to carry us from the last of October into the 1st of December. So the waivers were all going to be gone December. And actually, Philip asked that question today. He said, well, maybe TEA, because it's only like 3 weeks in December, maybe TEA you'll give us more time to distance learning. And they said, we can't say that. But he already did. Because that's what he posted. Now, all that has happened is there's been confusion because of all this bombardment of information that has been false, fake, fraudulent, 100%. And so that's where we're at. Now, these are just waivers in order to slow down the in-person, face-to-face instruction. There still has to be face instruction, guys. That has not stopped. There are still people going onto the campuses. And we have heard that there's some campuses that are making their students that are failing them to come back onto campus. Thank you so much Fajita Scandal. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Anybody else that has the need to?
They donated live on the air or what?
Yes.
My number is 956.
No, there's guys. It's good to be the cookie leader. Thank you so much. In all honesty, thank you very, very much. Guys, ahora sí voy al Jack in the Box. Guys, thank you, bye. Appreciate it. God bless you, man. Again, just to clarify, guys, 956.
Gee.
1-899-956. No, thank you. Just to clarify, guys, we don't know what's going to happen. Our kids are still going onto campus, guys. Our kids are still going onto campus. And look, man, again, I'm going to say this again. I want to say this for everyone here. We all want everyone on campus. It's not safe, guys. It's just not safe. We're still a punto caliente. We're still in a danger zone. No, I'm not going to send you Frankie's phone number.
Mándalo.
I'm not going to send you Frankie's phone number. But no, we're still in a hot spot, guys. We're still in a hot spot. And again, guys, we just have to be very, very cautious and very, very careful. One of the things that they did mention tonight was that if the parent did not want to send the kids to school, they did not have to send the kids to school. So I'm hoping that is going to be the case. That's going to be continue to be the case. I will say one thing though. After November the 3rd, no one's going back on campus. No one is going back on campus. There are people that are going to want to volunteer. They're tercos. They want to go back on campus. You know some of those people, Joe. Let those people go back on campus. But no one that is afraid or concerned for their life is going back on campus. No more stress. No more anxiety. No more nothing. Frankie?
I think that's very important, and that's one of our points. Our contract with the community, making sure that the safety, well-being is our number one priority for employees, students, and residents for our great city of Brownsville. We have seen how time and time again this leadership, this board has not taken into consideration the wants, the needs, the concerns of our community. Safety has been something that has been overlooked. For whatever reason, this administration, this leadership has always been adamant on we'll be going back face-to-face one day. We have seen how since March and April, they made their desires known that they wanted us to go back into campus. So I think that's very important for people, for the voters to understand. A vote for us is a vote for our safety. That is one of our biggest concerns. Again, we don't know what we're dealing with. This is something that this COVID pandemic, the doctors are still learning day to day. Nobody is anybody could be susceptible to this virus. We just had our president of the United States, an individual who has unlimited resources, doctors around the clock, and he contracted the virus, and he has many underlying conditions himself. So again, we have no guarantee. And that's the scary part, Joe, that in this day and age, we just don't know. So then it's a bad cocktail of allowing individuals to go back onto campuses, not knowing the severity of this virus. So that's one of our contracts with the community, making sure that our main priority is the safety and well-being of BISD and for the city of Brownsville, and that means no one on campus.
Let me say, I just got the question. Did I get a neck lift? Yeah. And this side actually didn't hold well, so I need to get this one fixed again. So yeah. And I actually got not this time, but last time I got a little bit of Botox here and a little bit of Botox here. Hey, this is the moneymaker right here. God, take care. I used to hate that this waddle was really, really low, so I did lift it up a little bit. and I need to lift it up a little bit more. No shame in my game. I mean, I answer the questions. I like Maida's comment. I have a special education unit. All my students are engaged every day, whether it's synchronous or asynchronous, to try to add as many fun activities, songs, etc. to go with text. And I'm teaching. I use Seesaw as second source to check for understanding. I also have to accommodate, modify. You see, this is the amazing work that our staff does, Joe. I mean, they find a way. And this is something that we've been saying all along, Joe. Bring in the experts. Our teachers, our counselors, our speds, they are the experts. Bring them into the equation, and they're going to give you the right answer. My concern with the current administration is that they had neglected to bring the specialist in, Joe. Am I right or am I wrong?
I don't know who they brought in and who they haven't. I do know, I agree that when making these decisions that are related to our health, I do believe that there should be people in the medical profession involved in if nothing else, giving advice, not necessarily making the decisions, but certainly, giving input so that they can make better decisions.
Parents need to understand that teachers have families they have to take care of. They also have children and have to check on their own kids. Yeah, again, we're going to go back into something that the mom shared today. A mom, and I actually posted on my page. My mom shared some concerns in regards to the open house. And again, it's all about community, guys. We've got to work together. And a lot of the concerns that the seventh grader and the mom shared tonight were those same concerns that someone had dropped the ball in regards to communication. They weren't bringing the parents in. A lot of the teachers were not being brought in regards to a lot of the decision making process. And when that happens, you don't have a clear picture of what's actually going on in there. How could you if you don't? I think that Frankie mentioned is very, very true. I mean, have yet to see a doctor, a nurse, present before the BISD board. Have yet to see them. And unlike their counterparts in Port Isabel, they had doctors, they had nurses, they had PAs out there, individuals to share with the community information and with the board so that the board can make the most informed decisions. And in regards to the academics part of it, people like Maida, and again, I think she said that she does special education, despite the fact that this administration stated that our staff, our teachers for special ed had been neglectful. I knew that they were full of crap because I know the work that my teachers do, that my staff does out there to help our students, especially our special ed students. People shouldn't be on campus, but people are out as if this virus had disappeared. Yeah, I made mention of it this morning and a couple of days. I mean, I went to, I had a hankering for a pasta, so I thought I'd go pick up some pasta at Russo's. Let me tell you guys, that little placita, little market, little square there at Pablo Quisel was packed. And that tacos and beer place, La Calacas, there's no 25, 50% there, man. They were jam-packed. And again, I'm not dogging on the business, but I tried to go to Komori to go pick up a roll because Russo's was, abiding by the 50%, I think it's at. That Calacas place was jam-packed, but I didn't want tacos. Those nights that you just don't want tacos? I just didn't want tacos. I wanted ravioli. But I couldn't have ravioli because it was already at 50%. And you could see a lot of empty tables there at Russo's, but they were abiding by the regulations. Passed by Calacas because I wanted to go to Komori's. Calacas estaba hasta la calaca. Hasta la calaca de gente. And guys, I don't care if you're just starting. That's not going to work. You can't have one business not giving a damn and the business that are around it. It's not going to work. And I went to Komori, same thing. A lot of empty tables. They said, sir, we're at capacity. And I'm going like, I just want ravioli. And because I couldn't have ravioli, I came for my San Francisco roll. I had nothing. Nothing. Nada. No ravioli. No San Francisco. And I didn't want damn tacos. You know those nights that you just don't want damn tacos? I know it's a sin not to want tacos here in Brownsville, because this is the taco capital of the world. They don't want tacos. Do you ever have those nights, Joe, when you just don't want tacos?
No. Every night is a taco night, man. I don't know what night you're talking about.
Joe, you were supposed to agree with me in everything. Tacos. Hey, Joe. I think you know a little bit about politics, no? Just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I read.
Hey, Joe, do you remember when you ran for office? When you ran for BISD?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when you got all those big checks from Linebarger?
Oh yeah.
And Baltasar Salazar?
Yeah, I didn't know what to spend it on, man. They were so large, I didn't know what to spend it on.
What's up with these people getting all this money from Linebarger? Now I want a burger. From Linebarger and from Baltasar Salazar and Noble Builders. What's up with that, Joe? How ethical do you think that is?
Well, I mean, I've never been one to shy away in answering that question, Erasmo, because I'm a firm believer that when you run for a political position, there's got to be some sort of integrity in the process, and I completely disagree with a vendor being directly involved in any type of assistance that they give a candidate where they are directly involved in as a vendor. It's just whether it's a written unethical practice, it certainly does not look right, and it opens up, just like any other, whether it be school boards, city administration, county administration, state representative, it doesn't matter where it is. When you have that type of influence, then it influences in which way votes go and such, and it's just not a good thing, man. I completely disagree with it. Completely.
I've actually asked Eder Hernandez to come on a couple of times, has not responded, and I'm going to say that he's very, very busy. We were very blessed the other night to have Dr. Teresa Saavedra. Maybe we can reach out to both of them again.
Yo quería.
I dropped my phone. It wasn't a roach this time. my phone charger busted. Guys, well, I'll ask. Yeah, I missed them coming on, but again, I understand that they're busy. So, Livo, who are the experts? CBC? CBC. CBC is the oil. No queremos ponerlos a todos marihuanitos. I think they're already taking care of that on their own.
We're dealing with kids. I would like to have Dr. Zamir on our task force. He's a pediatrician. He is very knowledgeable in his field. I would like to hear what he has to say, how the district should approach this, bringing back students onto campuses. We have seen how the people on this task force only have, they don't have medical degrees. They got their doctorates in education, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if we're focusing on COVID, if we want to know the reality of what we're dealing with in a bigger picture, it would be wise for us to have somebody who is more knowledgeable in that area. So, I would welcome Dr. Zamir, Dr. Hernandez, Dr. Saavedra, Dr. Mario Cerdan, great individuals within our community that have lend us their time and their expertise to give us a better understanding of what we're dealing with. I think they would be great assets for our district and for our community to give us suggestions.
I agree. And again, Pepper and Patty, just to answer your questions, the board approved it now. It goes back to TEA, and TEA's got to determine if they're going to actually grant us those last 4 weeks. We have a social problem in the city. Too many people here only care about themselves and can give a crap about the city and the things going on around them. That's reflected in leadership. Actually, the void of leadership. We have no leadership in the city. There is no leadership. Joe, what is your take on the city commission and how they've handled the coronavirus?
I don't even know where to start, Erasmo. I don't think we have enough time on your show for me to touch up on everything. I'm disgusted by the way that the city administration has handled this from the beginning to end. I'll go as far to say that I feel like I can blame them for what's happened to me, just like many of our residents can blame them for the death of their family members and their kids or family members that have gotten sick. And that is because of their failure to act and their failure to show their face and come together and be leaders to our community in the best interest of us. Whoever made that comment hit it right on the dot, because they come together when it's an interest to them directly, but not when it's a benefit to the community. We absolutely have no leadership, not when it's important, and that is a big problem, and that needs to change, Erasmo. And that's something that we're going to be looking into come March next year. That's something that we need to take very serious. We're going to approach the changes this November, and once these changes November take place, then we're going to move up and start worrying about how we change the leadership in this city, because I'm done. I'm done expecting good things out of this administration, Erasmo. They have failed us. They have failed every one of us in this city, and it's time to make some changes.
I agree with you. Look, and it's very unfortunate. This afternoon, this morning, went downtown for lunch, for my first lunch. I actually had 3 lunches today.
What the heck?
I went to downtown for my first lunch, and you look around and it's empty, and all I saw up there were the expensive cameras that were filming empty streets. And you go like, man, couldn't we have spent the money a little bit more, in a way that would have brought in a little bit more revenue? It's like Ciclovia all over again. I would like to get some statistics in regards to how much crime those cameras have actually caught. Something that at least we're getting our money's worth out there. And it's just unfortunate, guys. Look, Brownsville downtown is dead. It's over. Put a fork in it. It's done. Take it out in the pasture and shoot it in between the eyes. Downtown is over, guys. That's it. Yeah. Let it go. Let it go. No more downtown money being spent. Let it go. Let it go. Tuesday is musical night.
They're trying a little too hard, Erasmo, to replicate what goes on downtown McAllen. I think they're trying way too hard. It's just not working. It's not working for them. And I hate to beat a dead horse, but a lot of that money could have been better spent in things you've mentioned, such as how about adding another ambulance? Because God knows we needed those ambulances a couple months back. When people were being denied services because we didn't have the ambulance services. I can tell you right now, I had to go outside on a private sector to get transported to a hospital in Texas City because we didn't have the means to get me to where I needed to go. So, I had to go outside and seek a private transport, and that's not good.
It isn't good. And again, Cassandra, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm sure that you clarified that comment well enough. And hang in there, Cassandra. Help is coming November the 3rd. Guys, Yeah, it's very, very unfortunate. And let me tell you, I mean, we were reporting on the situation with the ambulances and not picking up individuals that were testing COVID-19 positive or who showed the symptoms, guys. And let me tell you, I mean, we even shared the story in regards to the individuals that were being left to die in the parking lots, at the front door of their home. Guys, we didn't have enough ambulances, guys. We had ambulances coming in from everywhere to help us out. Man, it's really, really very unfortunate that our priorities here at the city are so screwed up. Look at all the money we spent on that crossroads thing. That I can't even remember what the movie thing, music thing, type of TED talks, little bit of everything. All $250,000 pissed away, and no one attended, guys. No one attended. I mean, we spend so much money on crap here in this city, and we don't spend money on that which is actually going to generate revenue for our people, man. Look at how much money we spent on Ciclovia. I mean, over $500,000 in the red, more than $500,000 in the red. And do you think that they decided to stop and cut their losses, Joe? They didn't. They would make the next ones even more extravagant, all because of Commissioner Gowan, to appease Commissioner Gowan. La Chisca. And I'm talking about the bike, not La Chisqueada. The bike, La Chisca. Maybe both. Guys, come on, man. And then we go out and put rent-a-bikes all downtown. Rent-a-bikes. Did you see those? Where you get your little credit card, you put them in the little slot, and you rent a bike. I looked at those, and the first thing that I said to myself, and I answered myself, because I ask myself questions and I answer my own questions. The first thing that I said? They're gonna be in Matamoros. And guess what?
Dicho y hecho.
They were in Matamoros. It's madness, guys. And we piss away so much money as a city. Too much money. It's just like the school board, man. They piss away money on expired PPE, on shower curtains for our special services department. Shower curtains from Walmart, and not the home decor ones, the mainstay ones, the generic ones, the ones that I buy, the cheap ones, cheap. And they hang them across their cubicles. Like if they're hanging their shirts or their sábanas en el tendedero. Some fell off. I remember my grandmother used to go make me pick them back up. It's not that safe, guys. Did you post the rest of your opponent's cabinet report? I see one page, but that can't be it. No way she just got the amount her commercials look more expensive than that. It's on the website. I'll post it on the page. No, she spent $25,000 so far. Philip, $38,000.
Wow.
And Frankie, one of Frankie's opponents, $25,000. It's a lot of money, guys. I mean, really? It is sad that the superintendent is forcing students, teachers back if they are failing. What they don't realize is the STAR scores will not reflect what students were supposed to learn first semester, not even close. Everyone, the welcome, Peanuts Gang. Yes, Peanuts Gang in the house. Thank you so much, Fajita Scandal. Love you. Thank you. Lucy, in Erasmo's opinion, the STAR will probably be canceled. Isn't that right, Erasmo? I agree too. I hope so. Yes. What is your take? You think the STAR is going to be canceled, postponed?
Are you asking me?
Well, no, I'm asking Frankie.
I think he left us. I'm hoping. I mean, I hope that that's where we go to. um, even though I'm not in one of the core areas, I still feel that we spend so much time testing, and if not preparing for testing, that you know, anything that we can get away with, and in this case, the rumor is that they are going to do at least this year. I don't know how true it is. I don't know how much of it, but whatever it is, if it is true, I'm glad.
I am glad too. Teachers are tired. I've heard teachers are working more from home and than from classroom. 100%. Especially female teachers, they have to help their own children with school and upkeep of home. 100%. Lucy, you're on spot tonight. I don't know what you ate. Maybe you ate ravioli,
See,
or maybe you ate Komori San Francisco roll. Don't tell me you ate tacos today, Lucy. Alegria mentioned how one person has caused so much division in the community. I was literally screaming, nobody. It's the whole Brazil community who's behind the great leader like Erasmo, who's raising awareness of what's going on in the district. By the way, not only is he handsome and totally not fat, but he's an amazing cookie leader and has a badge to prove it. Yes! So, guys, Alberto Alegria is pissed off because people are dumping that no good piece of crap association. He steals your dues. He takes your money and he spends it on his ranch in Mexico where he eats cabrito that he skins alive. He grabs that cabrito and he skins it alive. It's out there crying and everything. His wife is on the payroll. His house mortgage is being paid by member dues. That is why he's upset. Well, screw you and the money that you're stealing from staff, Alberto Alegría. Because if you think that you going out there and speaking before the board that I'm being divisive, you are stupid, stupid, stupid. And you need to stop stealing from your members, their dues, because you learned a lot from your puppet master, Sylvia Atkinson. You imbecile, rata. And Patrick Hammonds at best, screw you too, because you constantly do the same thing. You out there on the payroll, you control that board. 85% of the people at best voted for Erasmo. TVA people didn't even get to vote. TVA people didn't even get to vote. Best people got to vote, but it didn't matter. It's as if you should have, they didn't even vote. 85% of the people at best voted for Erasmo Castro. And Patrick Hammond still got his way. So anyone that is a member of BEST, anyone that is a member of TVEA, you are pissing away your money. Abandon ship. Abandon ship. Abandon ship. Stop giving them your hard-earned money. Screw you is not a bad word, right? No?
I don't think so.
Thank you. Very true. Thank you, Lucy. 50 infections today, 5 more deaths. They're saying hospitals are still under control. Give me a break. We need to have a week with 0 infections. Yeah, again, as they voted on, until it is scientifically proven for it to be safe to go back on campus. They lied, they lied, they lied. Rolando, forget them walking the halls. Give a teacher a stipend or bonus or extra hours and effort, 100%. So, Levo, can you assure the staff and teachers not to go back on campus? Please explain. I'll answer since Frankie abandoned us. I can 100% assure you that no one who is afraid for their safety, their health, their well-being needs to go back on campus after November the 3rd. No one. No one. We've already been told that parents can choose to keep their children home for this school year. See, that's my concern, Sandy. That is what we've been told. Russia. Jason's Deli full. Yeah, their food's not all that great either. Sorry, guys. You know what I like about Jason's Deli? They have this grapes with something mixture that you add ice cream to. Delicious, delish. I mean, Russia is great at abiding by the regulations. Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust Russia, China with their numbers, but I'm just concerned that they're not going to abide by a lot of the promises that they made, Sandy. I mean, they lie all the time. Am I wrong, Joe?
I couldn't hear. I can't hear what you're saying, Erasmo.
They lie all the time.
Who lies?
Administration.
Frankie? Oh, he's not here?
Oh, I forget you're still hired by BISD.
I forgot he wasn't here anymore.
The way to the flat. I heard some districts are reporting abuse caught on camera for distance learning. Yes, actually, there's a lot of crap being caught on camera. You can't get an enchilada in this town that's worth an. Actually, I like the enchiladas at Ricardo's. Let's go. Hey, Wayne, let's have lunch sometime this week or next week, just to catch up. Let me know. The vendors are assisting some candidates so that they can get their hands on BISD money. Yeah, you agree with that, Joe?
Usually, when a vendor is assisting in any way, shape, or form a candidate for a political position, there's usually an agenda behind it. So, what it is, what agenda they have behind their support is, on each individual. But it shouldn't be. That should be something that should definitely not be allowed.
Not at all. Rolando's right. La Daniela, I have worked hard for everything that I have, except the vendor money that's being put in my pocket. Shut up, ill rich girl. You're lying. You're lying. Erasmo, what was the interview you did earlier? And by any way, why don't you all have other doctors on here since Dr. Saveda and Dr. Hernandez are very busy? We tried to have Dr. Mario Cerdan. I've actually submitted a request to Dr. Mario Cerdan. They're all very busy, but we'll try. The interview was a St. Joe student that is currently attending school in Austin, UT and he wanted to interview me and ask some questions. And I said, sure. So that's what we did. And again, I did not prepare for the questions, did not share with me the questions. And again, I'll answer any questions. CDC or CBD? ABC? PhDs are handed out nowadays. I need one, another one. Exactly now, the mayor is talking about opening up the crossing of the border. Here comes the second wave, 100%. David Castro, I agree with you on Joe Rodriguez. If you know you're going to get sick, just don't leave your house. Stay home. Agree with Joe. My sister just passed away. She got COVID at an adult daycare. It's horrible. And also, I'm sorry to say that Trey is a total failure. Couldn't stand up to Edinburgh people on BISD. He is a Daniela, and downtown died. Downtown is dead. Stick a fork in it. It's over. I mean, this city needs to stop pissing away money on downtown. It's a done deal. Yeah. Again, in the words of the prophet, let it go, let it go. I can't remember the rest. And where do we sign to go hold up signs during early voting? Maida, send me an inbox and I will pass the information on to the people that are organizing that. Thank you, Maida. God bless you. Right on, Mr. Joe. The people are sick and tired of the same old taking advantage of the citizens of Brownsville. Time for change, positive change, 100%. I reported adult daycare to health department and nothing happened. Adult daycare still open. My sister died. I'm so sorry, Guadalupe. It is crazy. Well, the leaders don't care what happens to the workers unless it happens to their family. It's called nepotism. We have to put an end to it. It's illegal, 100%. City can't give a common citizen a permit to build a house, but all of these empty shopping plazas are swamping while downtown is empty buildings, money laundering, perhaps. I've always thought that all these little plazas everywhere are just a way to launder money. Your take, Joe? Yes? Okay, thanks. What are your takes on the plaza, Joe?
On the what?
On all these little plazas opening up all of a sudden.
We live in a border town, Erasmo, and in border towns like this, we are a corridor for
Corruption.
the drug business. So businesses are always a possibility that they're there for the purpose
Money
of laundering.
Corridor of corruption. Very good. Good phrase. Corridor of corruption. Good phrase, Joe. Officials just want to do little things that look good, but they do not make profound decisions that benefit everyone in the community. Say ambulance is 100%. Don't bitch it up. True. Hey, guys, and I found, guys, I actually found my number shut up stickers. So I got my number shut up stickers, my no more crumb stickers, and my give me more cheese stickers. So, guys, come pick them up. We will have to buy our own shower curtains when we go back to school because you will not get the plexiglass. They won't. They didn't even want to give our fourth and fifth graders. Yeah, it's crazy. And also, do a commercial where you are riding your scooter through down. Okay. If someone will film it, I will write. I will do it. And Osmo, how are the companies in Corey? Are they still yummy? Yum. Delish. Mrs. Miller, come back on the show. I enjoy hearing when you're on the show. Tomorrow at 9 o'clock. I'm on fire. I want a cupcake from Corey. Delish. The kids were playing football, and all the kids were hugging each other in one of the middle schools. Wow, it's crazy. John White goes up in front of the people parole board in a couple of days. Hopefully, he gets out and is reformed. I hope so too. John White gets thrown in Facebook jail a lot. Hey Wayne, let's go have lunch. Alberto does Uber Eats. Hey Joe Valdez. Hey Aida. Frankie, come back. No, ya se gastó el dinero del donation que le mandaron. Who controls the federal money to schools? How do Mary Tolman? How do we know it's not misused? It is because it's Mary Tolman, Sylvia Atkinson's sister, and used to for their own personal use. Yes, Mary Tolman is in charge of federal funds. Federal funds is why Sylvia Atkinson is going to be in court tomorrow. Tomorrow. She'll be in court tomorrow. We're only a day away. Tomorrow. She'll be in court tomorrow. We're only a day away. And I'm very happy. The restaurant. Oh. Which one? For the enchiladas? Ricardo. What happened, Joe? Couldn't answer?
What answer? Which one?
About the mishandling and everything I asked you.
Oh.
She said Russo is not Russia. Oh! Russo! I was tripping, son. You were like, what? Russia? like Donald Trump, Russia? Or what? The Russians did it. Yeah. I don't know why we've been putting so much money on DT. There are more important matters. Wolfie, you're right, Wolfie. It's too much money, man. It's done. It's dead. It's over. Put a fork in it. Adios. Let it go. Let it go. They should convert downtown into a movie theater. My concern is, I wonder if a lot of these board members, these city commissioners have a vested interest in downtown. That's why they don't want to kill it, Maybe. Y el little lady dijo en la meeting, Sylvia, court date? Tomorrow. It's peanut butter jelly time. I don't know that song. Are the courts open for the public? No. Every single one of her hearings has been sealed. Vote Frankie, Erasmo, Carlos, and do not bring back the incumbents 100%. Money could have been spent on PPE for the whole city 100%. Woo! We got through all the comments. Joe, last words.
Yeah. today I would like to reach out to the community, Erasmo, and ask the parents to think about some of the decisions that they're going to be faced as we move forward. And I say that because every day I wake up, and the first thing I do when I open my eyes is I thank God for giving me one more day of life. After having experienced what I went through and still going through, and I wonder, sometimes I sit there and think, why am I putting myself through this when I have to make some decisions moving forward, and unfortunately some of those decisions I have to do are going to be in a reaction to what our administration decides to do moving forward. So I kind of have to play it by ear, day by day. And I heard today a comment from some of my students that were commenting to each other, saying that some of their friends are wanting to go back to the campus because they're bored. And what I'd like to ask the community and parents is, as you're thinking about the decision whether to send your kids to school, I would like to ask you to think about what's in the best interest of your family, and not boredom. Your kids being bored at home should not be the reason why they're going to go into a situation where we don't know whether it's safe or not, and we don't know what kind of repercussions you'll have when they're coming home to you and maybe older people at home. So moving forward, as you get faced with the decisions to make, I'd like to ask you that you make a decision on what's based on what's best for your family and not boredom, guys. Don't make your decision to send your kids to school because they're bored. Find them something to do. Give them chores. Bring back the old, helping at home, doing chores, some sort of that kind of structure, and keep them busy. Help them at school. I was really proud of my students, because as I wonder why I'm putting myself through this, I sit there and just like I hear these comments, one of the things is I teach a career pathway, and that's education and training. So I'm teaching students that have an interest in pursuing becoming a teacher as a career. So it's really exciting to teach them, these kind of students, because they're very eager. The thing that we're missing is that we're supposed to get involved in community services, and we can't do that right now because of the pandemic. So my kids, we came up with a plan on how my students can still give back to the community. And one of the things that they were real quick to put together is they're putting together a program where we're going to be teaching classes after school for parents and younger kids that are having difficulty with technology and distance learning. And they're going to be donating that time and do it virtually, of course, and helping parents, because it is very stressful. And I've seen it, I've experienced it. I stayed up one time till 10 p.m. at Erasmo. 2 hours I spent with a parent who was they were to the point that they've had it, and I talked them into how to log into Google Classroom, and I once upon, and mind you, I'm not the most computer technology savvy person, so that was a little struggle back and forth, but we got it done. And my students putting together these programs and these classes, and one of the other classes they're going to be doing is on how to deal with the mental stress and mental health that we see happening right now, because young age, middle school and high school, and even the parents are going through this because of all the difficulties. And to have my students eagerly put together these ideas and classes that they're going to be doing as a community service, it reminds me the reason why I wake up every morning and I stay focused in going back to the classroom and teaching the students, because I have awesome students, and fortunately I have an awesome administrator that supports our causes, and I'm just hoping that everything just falls into place and that we can end this semester. But one of the things is that as a community, we need to make sure that when we send our kids to school, it's because it's in the best interest of the student, their families, and not just simply because they're bored at home or they want to see their friends. Other than that, God bless everybody. God bless everybody. I love you guys. And thanks, Erasmo, again for the invitation to be on your show.
Joe, Cassandra is asking for your email. If you send that to her, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Cassandra, okay, I'll get that from you. Otherwise, it's just jvaldez@bisd.us.
J Valdez with a Z at bisd.us.
Yeah, and thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Guys, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. There's a lot of work to be done, not only at BISD, at the city of Brownsville. This is our community. I appreciate the opportunity. I want to thank Mr. Garcia, I think Cesar Garcia, for sending me the invite in regards to asking some questions and his want to do it live. Very proud. A lot of the questions were concerning, a lot of my students at St. Joe. I love my students at St. Joe, and I love my St. Joe family, and I'm very, very proud that they have the confidence to reach out and want to ask those questions. Again, guys, we are servants of the community as a whole, and we will continue to be out here, continue to advocate for what's right, continue to ask the tough questions of individuals that are in leadership positions. We love our community. Again, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for coming by and dropping off these cookies, guys. And folks, please come by and pick up Erasmo cookies. And it's through your purchase of the cookies from the cookie leader that we are able to run this campaign. Are you guys going to finish watching the board meeting after? No. I have some folks that are watching it. I'm going to opt to prepare for tomorrow. Tomorrow we will have a busy day in regards to campaigning. Also have an evening show. I think Mr. Anselmo, who's running for TSC board, will be with us tomorrow night. So it should be a very interesting night. Guys, again, stay safe. Safety depends on you. If you think that your students are not safe going back onto campus, don't send them back onto campus. Don't send them back onto campus. It's to keep them at home. Keep them safe. Second wave is coming. I see no way that it's not, but we're praying that it isn't. Guys, be good to each other and continue to be good to me. See you tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning.